Today I'm going to be doing the impossible, trying to choose 12 of my personal favorite Chillest Gorillaz tracks, and I've only made it harder by limiting myself to just 2 tracks from the 6 studio albums released. So no G-sides, D-sides, or Like a Come Home. Sorry. Oh, and no bonus tracks. As much as it kills me not to put Dracula, Hong Kong, or any of the tracks that came with the super deluxe version of Humans, I'm just reviewing the base, bare bones albums as they were released. No bonus tracks, no extras, all that jazz. So yeah, 2 tracks from each album, listing them in order from ones I like to listen to ones I just can't help but put on every once in a while. It's a hard list to make as a Gorillaz fan for sure. Well, alright, with all that out of the way, let's get it. Starting off with really hard to choose which songs I love to vibe to on this one, because they each have something to them. From Clint Eastwood being airy and chill with the melodica and piano backing on the beat, to Latin Simone having this Spanish flavored shuffle beat that just makes you chill and listen to the vocals. Definitely a tough choice from the very beginning. But the 2 songs I chose were Tomorrow Comes Today and Starshine. Like I said, fucking hard to choose. I was really on the fence between picking either Soundcheck or Clint Eastwood as my second choice. But Starshine took it for the simple fact that it has a very spacey, ambient, and kinda eerie sound to it that has so much wiggle room for the listener to interpret anything they want with the lyrics. I mean, you can imagine films or scenes with it being played in the background, or hell, you just put it on in the background to vibe out to and think about life. It's also very stoner friendly. I mean, hell, this whole album sounds like it was just made for smoking some shit. Tomorrow Comes Today is a no-brainer for me. I mean, one of the Gorillaz' first big hits along with Clint Eastwood, and I mean, from the opening breakbeat style drums to the melodica playing to 2D singing and making the ambience of the song that much more, it's easily chosen out of the lineup for me. It's been one of my all-time favorite Gorillaz tracks to listen to, and one that I've never got tired of listening to. If I thought the first album was hard as hell to choose tracks from, this one and the next album is sure as hell on another level of difficult for me. My all-time favorite Gorillaz album, I mean, just choosing 2 tracks makes me feel sick to my stomach. Like I left something important behind or forgot to talk about a certain track because I love it so much. It's like choosing between which one of your children you love more. Well, alright, maybe it's not that hard, but still. Alright, well, I set the rules in motion and this is a list for the Chillest Gorillaz tracks, so I have to bite the bullet. The 2 songs I chose were El Mañana and Every Planet We Reach Is Dead. Like I said, fucking hard as hell to pick songs from this one for me. As soon as I sat down and started this list, I was dreading picking which 2 songs I enjoyed the most off of this album, due to them being something I could just listen to and vibe with. But as soon as I got to this album, I'm not gonna lie, I had to listen to it front to back again just so I wouldn't miss a single song. And I hate myself for not picking some certain songs, but yeah, the songs that were neck and neck for me were between Every Planet We Reach Is Dead, All Alone, and Demon Days. But again, I had a hell of a time listening to each of these tracks again. But in the end, I chose Every Planet We Reach Is Dead out of the bunch. It's just one of those songs that when you hear it, you just lose yourself and go into a trance-like state, having a million thoughts racing in your head at once, thinking about the past, present, or future. Or hell, just walking on a cool summer night with an empty street ahead of you and cars passing by. It's just one of those songs you get immediately lost in thought with. Same with El Mañana, just one of those songs that, since the first time I heard it, makes me think a million thoughts. Man, choosing 2 songs off this album almost killed me. And this next album was just the same, if not even more so, because Plastic Beach is fucking amazing as well.
Where's North from here?
There's so much to pick from this album, it's not even funny. From the opening track, Welcome to the World of the Plastic Beach, with Snoop Dogg being groovy and fun to listen to, Rhinestone Eyes being another groovy, synth-drenched song that has some fucking awesome additional vocals in the background riding the beat so nicely, to Melancholy Hill being a song that I've shown to non-fans of the Gorillaz, and even they end up loving it. It's just that good. So yeah, just like Demon Days, it's fucking hard to choose between so many amazing tracks. But I ended up choosing Empire Ants and Broken. Stylo and To Binge were two close tracks that I almost picked instead of Broken, but Broken is just an amazingly chill song. Seriously, put it on and just drift off somewhere else. When I first heard this song, I just couldn't stop playing it. The melody, the feeling of loss and emptiness it gives you, and the melodica playing some of the most beautiful notes I've ever heard in a Gorillaz song. It's just, man, go listen to it if you haven't. It's a great song. I was actually listening to it while I was writing this. It's just perfect music to think and get lost to. As is Empire Ants. I mean, holy hell, what a trip of a song this is. From a soft and airy beginning section with slide guitar, piano, and 2D singing with this inflective delivery that you can't help but just, yeah, you know where I'm going with that. But to go from this tranquil, peaceful beginning to ramping up into a techno pop style middle and ending section with Little Dragon so effortlessly, I mean, like I've always said, the Gorillaz are fucking masters at mashing together different genre types without skipping a beat. And Jesus Christ, Little Dragon fucking kills the ending section, with these synth keys ramping the mood up of the song to crazy heights. I really could go on forever about just these two songs, hell, this whole album, but time to move on to the next album, the black sheep of their discography for a lot of people.
It is the dawn. It
is the dawn.
Eclectic, varied, and just plain weird. The Fall is one of the Gorillaz albums that has an acquired taste to it, I think. Some people love this album, while others would probably be okay with it not even existing. But for me, it's an alright album. I mean, I could put it on every once in a while and jam out to it no problem. And to be honest, the vibey tracks on here are great for being made on an iPad. Phoner to Arizona opens up with a nice funky bass line that I can't help but bob my head to every time it comes on. Hillbilly Man having a nice acoustic opening that is perfect driving music. Hell, he even says drive away to further this shocking revelation. Chi-Town having the synths and background vocals giving it a nice vibey flair, and so on. But the songs I chose this time around are Little Pink Plastic Bags and Seattle, yeah, not fucking right, Aspen Forest. I was almost going to put Bobby and Phoenix here since I love the straight guitar and vocal acoustic sound the track has. I was almost going to put Chi-Town on here too for its nice electric keys and ethereal voices with 2D sounding like he's about to cry. But Aspen Forest won due to it being simply amazing to listen to. It's got a fun, lazy attitude to it. Kinda reminds me of listening to the Nintendo eShop music from the Wii. And listening to Aspen Forest makes me think of walking around in a forest, daydreaming and seeing nature come alive, birds flying around, you know, Disney type shit. I'm pretty sure I said this in my The Fall album review, but I had put this song on during one of my hunting trips with my uncle, and walking through the forest with it in the morning, the sun barely peeking out in the distance with cold air picking up, it was some kind of experience. Also, the mandolin at the end is a nice way to have it close, sounding so majestic against the electric keys being played. Just great. And Little Pink Plastic Bags is just a fucking awesome track that is straight out of the gate, vibey and ambient as hell. With what I can only assume is a humpback whale call or something, and having these airy synthy keys being played in the background throughout the whole song. It just makes this one a fucking awesome song to listen to while driving, which makes sense given that this was made on Damon's iPad. Seeing all those landscapes and locations, being able to record while they're enveloping you or watching them at night, this album definitely has a tour ride vibe on it, if that makes any sense. Well, alright, on to the next album, which could be considered the Black Sheep's twin brother. One of the weirdest Gorillaz albums, and that's saying a lot coming from an album made on an iPad. Because, well, the Gorillaz are almost entirely guest artists on their own shit. Seriously, listen to most of the tracks on here and tell me you're not listening to someone else's album. From Peven Everett's Fun Poppy Strobe Light to Kalela's Submission featuring Danny Brown, Anthony Hamilton's Carnival. I mean, it feels weird just saying this because these songs feel like these artists' songs, not the Gorillaz. But I digress, this album is still a fun listen. I still think some of the songs on here are fucking great, like Hallelujah Money with Benjamin Clementine, Charger featuring Grace Jones, and many of the other tracks on here. But the tracks I picked are Busted and Blue and Andromeda. Kinda wanted to put Hallelujah Money on here instead of Andromeda due to personal preference to that track than Andromeda, but I mean, I can't lie, Andromeda is a fun, vibey, chill song. Although the ending section of Hallelujah Money alone beats the vibe from this song, but Anyways, the first time I heard this track, I was impressed, and I loved the little visual video that was released with it. With us flying around a planet in space with 2D singing against these nice synthy keys, and just being able to hear new Gorillaz music was enough for me to like it. But the style and vibe this song has is great. And from Andromeda, it transitions cleanly into Busted in Blue. Another vibey, spacey track with Kelela adding some nice background vocals mixed with 2Ds. The song sounds like you're stranded on an empty landscape, maybe somewhere on the plastic beach still while everyone else left. Great song, easy to chill to, and nice Kelela feature. Alright, time for their last recent project, one that was definitely a joy to listen to again. After repeatedly listening to this album since its release, I've noticed a lot of new things I probably didn't while writing and recording my review for the Now Now. Like how this album sounds like a melding of their last two albums, Human and The Fall. I mean, when I hear tracks like Hollywood, Sorcerers, and 1%, it gives me a Humans vibe, while tracks like Idaho and Fireflies remind me of the mood of The Fall. I don't know, it's just some stuff I picked up on while listening to it again. But anyways, let's get the last two tracks from this album, and I think you know which ones they are. Lake Zurich and Sukai. Humility was a close one to edge out Sukai, mainly for the fact that Humility sounds like a fun sounding, chill out, cookout summer song. I mean, I could see this shit being played at a beach cookout or backyard get-togethers. Background music while people are chilling out, partying, and having fun. I was also close to picking Fireflies because of the bassy lead and moody atmospheric instrumentation around 2D's depressing sounding, melancholic lyrics. But Sukai edged those two out by just being a simplistic, vibey, chill-ass track. Airy vocals from 2D, simple guitar riff, and nice keys being played against these chill drum beats. And then kind of going into a techno-y ending, it was just perfect to me. And Lake Zurich, I mean, it's basically the same thing. It's just really vibey and chill to listen to. For some reason, the Gorillaz really know how to make amazing sounding instrumental tracks on their albums. They sound great to the ears and make you get lost in the mood or vibe of them. Detroit, Phoner to Arizona, and Aspen Forest coming to mind immediately. I don't know, man, it was really hard to choose between these tracks for some reason. They all had that special thing I look forward to listening to in a Gorillaz song, and each of the tracks have awesome production and instrumentals in them. It was kind of a pain to choose between them, but yeah. So with all those tracks picked from each individual album, it's time to list them in order, from ones I like to ones I love. And here we go. So that's the list. See any you like, see ones that I know I definitely missed. Which one are your personal favorite Gorillaz tracks to chill or vibe to? Leave a comment down below and I'll gladly comment back. This has been Jojo from Album Reviews and such. Thanks for viewing, have a great day, be safe, and have yourself a damn good one. Peace.